destiny extremely close to my victory. Cause here comes trials and troubles, jealousy. Welcome everyone to my YouTube channel. It is yours truly, Ashley Lorraine. If you have not yet subscribed, you already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, give your girl a thumbs up. Today's video, I am coming to you, I always come to you with things that I'm either experiencing or things that I have gone through. And so I just kind of want to share that with you guys. And plus, it just kind of helps grow your character, really, truthfully. So as I'm growing and as I'm experiencing different things in life, I just thought I'd share that with you along the journey. So I was having a conversation with one of my homegirls, somebody close to me, and it seems like in the times that we are in now, everybody seems to be under just some type of pressure, whether it be from your personal life, whether it be from your job, just different forms of pressure. So I'm going to tell you what I am actually learning is that pressure is so good for you because pressure reveals your character. If you never experience pressure, how do you know what you can handle? So it's almost like in friendships. A lot of times people don't want to test the water when it comes to friendships. You don't want to upset the person, so you'll go along with, oh girl, that looks good, or oh girl, you know, that's fine. And you never really want to bring correction to anybody because you don't want to offend. But how do you know if a friendship is really solid if there's never any type of adversity, if there's never any type of pressure to reveal how a person really feels about you? Almost like when you get into an argument with somebody and they just begin to go off about something totally different than what the argument really started off at, because under pressure they begin to reveal what's in their hearts. So I ask you this question: what is in your heart, right? And how do you handle the pressures of life? I mean, we got different types of people. We got runners. I will take full responsibility in that. I was definitely one of those people that would never want to deal with my issue. I would always change the chapter, change the subject, do something different. So technically I was running from the situation. But one thing about being a runner per se is that it always surfaces back and you still got to be able to deal with that. So you have the runners. You also have the people that know that they have the issue of not wanting to handle things or can't handle the pressure, so they'll push the responsibility off on somebody else. So for instance, if a person knows, if you apply the pressure to somebody that's kind of prideful, instead of them taking ownership and taking responsibility, they'll blame it on somebody else and never really take the full responsibility of the role they play in. So I guess I say to everyone that's listening is that if you are under any type of pressure, that is a good thing, especially if you are a believer. Because a lot of times the devil knows, the enemy knows exactly what's coming your way. So he will try to apply the pressure to you to get you off your purpose, to get you away from what God is really leading you to. And a lot of times we may ask God to remove the pressure. And I don't know if you have experienced this before, but you'll pray about something over and over and over, and it seems like God is just not moving. So what I'm learning is that when God does not move, when we ask him to move and we're in a place where we feel like we are about to just burst, like I am on edge, I'm about to lose it, that is the time to really spend a lot of time with yourself, and not just in a deep, dark depression, but spend time with yourself, read your word, get around like-minded people, get around people that got more than you, get around people that got an influence, get around people that are positive, that can speak into your life, that you can begin to pull on. Don't get around people that's less than you, on the same level as you, because nobody's going to grow. You got to get around people that can speak into your life and see something that you can't see. So pressure is so good. And I guess for me, the way that I'm dealing, the way the Lord has me handling and dealing with pressure, I kind of feel like I'm in a gunfight, except I'm just taking all the shots, like I'm just taking every bullet. And what the Lord is showing to me is this is actually building your character, because if I can trust you under pressure, I can trust you when I bless you with far beyond your expectations. If every time something happens and you run or you push it off and you don't deal with it, you'll find yourself in the same spot over and over and over again. And you gotta build your endurance, man. You have to be able to handle being hurt, right? You gotta be able to handle being hurt. You have to be able to handle the pains of life, because the word says that reaping may endure for the night, but in the morning
there will be joy. And I just believe and if you know anything about God, you know he has brought you from something. He has delivered you from something. He saved you from something. Is life perfect? Absolutely not. I mean, just in the position of being a single mother and just the trials and tribulations that come along with that mistake that I've made, that I'm blessed out of it. God got the glory out of it because I have my children. But the mistakes that we made, it's almost like I planted a seed, whether good or bad. That tree has to grow. If you plant a good seed, that tree will grow and you can pick the fruit and eat real good. But if you plant a bad seed and that tree begins to grow, you got to ask the Lord to uproot that very thing, because it's going to grow. And you can shout and you can give him the glory and you can bless his name and you can do all of that. But whatever you plant, whatever you give yourself to, it's going to give back to you. Whatever you give yourself to, it is going to give back to you. So what I'm choosing to do in this moment is I'm giving myself to the Lord. Is it hard? Absolutely. But when I think about the mistakes that I've made to get me to this point, I'm like, I can't go back. When I think about just having sex outside of marriage and the struggles that I've had to deal with having 2 children by 2 different guys and having to deal with that issue, I can't go back. Like, I just can't go back. When I think about the Lord just, delivering me from just different addictions and like just really truly all that he's done, I can't go back. I have to be able to stand in this place where he is squeezing me, because if I do not stand here, then I'm gonna find myself back here again. So does it hurt to be under pressure? Absolutely. Nobody wants to really be squoze, but there is fruit. There is a promise at the end of it. I know doing it my way, there was nothing promising, but trusting him and enduring the pain, there is a promise. And ladies, I always like to speak to you because we kind of share the same minds. Ladies are women, we're emotional creatures, and a lot of times we like to just take on so much and not really deal with the issue, not really deal with what it really truly is. A lot of times we don't realize that God is just taking us through the same courses until we pass. If you are finding yourself in the same spot in your life 10 years later, there's something in your life, there's a course in your life that you have not passed yet. And a lot of times we don't know how to pass that course, but you have to sit and you have to be able to handle the pressure. You have to be able to handle the weight of your own life. Because if you don't, it's going to come back around and you're going to find yourself in the same spot. It's so many people that just never grow because they never really truly want to handle the issues of life. They rather, and a prime example is just women that go from relationship to relationship to relationship. You can never fully discover who you are if you've never been single. That's what I'm going through now. I've always been in a relationship. At 32 years old, I was in a relationship from the time I was in high school and up until a year ago. And it's like, now that I am single, the Lord is beginning to break things down inside of me that could have been flawed years ago. Like some things that I was dealing with my first boyfriend that I never handled because I had another boyfriend. I would begin to feel the void with relationships, and I never truly got to heal and got to really grow because I was unable at the time in my mind to handle the pressure of being by myself. So I say that to all the women that use relationships to begin to fill voids. Yeah, you can say, well, I've been single for a while and it's just time and this, that, and the third. Like, honey, let's stop. Because to be honest with you, a lot of times the men that we give our time to are so undeserving. The men that we sit in and give our conversations to are so undeserving. And I'm not saying it's not good men out there, because I know that it really truly is. But what I'm telling you, ladies and men, that we have to be able to stand the pressure of life in order to grow. That's basically what I'm saying to you. And you're only as good as the company that you keep. So what type of company are you keeping around you? Are you around people that are going to push you into purpose? Are you around people that could come and tell you when you're wrong? Do you always stay offended by somebody bringing correction into your life? Can you be corrected? Can you be taught? Like, let's just be real. But you can never get to those places of discovering who you are and growing when you're always surrounded around people. It is going to take you to be in a place of solitude. My people, like, it's going to take you to be in a place where it's nothing around you but you, your vision, God's word, and just being focused. So I challenge people out there that's watching this, like, where are you in life? Do you handle the pressures of life the correct way? the correct way. Because you got people that'll go through life and they'll say they can handle the pressure, but then they overdo things and they still find themselves in the same spot over and over. Do I have it all figured out? No, I don't. But what I am experiencing out in my own life is that the Lord is allowing me to be in this place where there's no company. Like, there's no men around me. There's really no friends around me. There's really no outside influences around me other than him telling me and showing me who I am in him, and then really like whooping my butt, telling me those things that are in me that he just does not like, you know, correcting me, allowing me to see that the mistakes that I've made in past relationships and making me deal with that. Like, don't try to push it off and ignore like it don't exist. Don't act like you don't have no issues, Ashley, because you definitely do. Ladies, stop acting like we gotta blame these men for relationships that went sour. It's not always the man's fault. A lot of times it's our mindset. A lot of times we put on unrealistic expectations to these men that only God can fulfill. So let's really take accountability for where we are. You may be single, which is absolutely good, or you may be in a relationship, which is good as well. But you got to be able to handle the pressures of life and not run. Not run. Not run, but asking God to give you a strategic plan to be able to outrun the enemy, because regardless, he gonna come. Regardless, the pressures of life are gonna happen. And it's almost like you go from glory to glory. So you pass this test, turn back around, there will be another test. There will be another test. So in order to really, truly, and I believe this, y'all, like wholeheartedly, in order to really, truly be happy in life, you have to first know who you are. And knowing who you are is knowing who God is. Okay? And not even just that, but you have to be willing to stand. You have to be willing to stand when the winds blow. You have to be willing to stand when things come to knock you off your square and take you out. You have to be willing to stand the fire. And I say this to men, if you are with a woman that can't stand the fire, she ain't the one. And ladies, if you with a man that can't stand the heat, he ain't the one. You got, and if you can't stand the heat, like, you got to go back and check yourself. You got to go back and deal with those things that are in your heart. If you can't stand the heat and you can't stand the fire, then you ask the Lord, help me, develop me, deliver me from whatever it is inside of me that's stopping my growth. Because if you could be honest with yourself, look around the people that you are around. And this is not to everybody, but I'm just saying, look at the people that you are around. Look at the company that you keep. Are these people growing you, or are these people stagnating you? And a lot of times it ain't even the people. It's your mindset. It's your low thinking. We got to have a higher thought. You want more? You got to think higher. You want better? You got to strive for that. But you got to be willing to sustain it and stand under pressure. Even the most successful people deal with pressure. If you can't handle the $10 in your pocket, how you going to handle 10 million? It just doesn't make sense. Especially to those parents out there. Like, we're passing this stuff on to our kids. We got to be smarter. We got to be wiser. Like, we're in a time now where the pressure is all around us. And if you can't stand the heat, you're going to find yourself back in the same spot doing the same things with the same results. So that's it for today. I just kind of wanted to share that and just kind of share where I am. I am in a place where I want to say it's lonely at the top, man. And am I all the way there? Absolutely not. But my mind and my heart is so focused on greatness right now that I don't have no room for distractions. So I share that with y'all, that I am in a process to where I'm not just talking about something I don't know about. Like, I'm talking about it because I'm experiencing it. I talk about it because this is what's taking place in my life right now. So why not share with y'all? Because either somebody's going through it as well, or somebody finna go through it. You gotta be in a place of solitude to grow. Period. Almost like a caterpillar in a cocoon. A caterpillar has to go in the cocoon to become a butterfly. But in the cocoon, it's dark. It's lonely. I can only imagine the caterpillar probably thinking, I want to get out of here. I don't like this place. But soon as the caterpillar comes out of the cocoon, it's a beautiful butterfly. Same thing as a seed in the ground. The seed in the ground is dark. It's lonely. You don't really want to be there. But the more it gets watered, something starts to sprout up. So how can you grow if you're not willing to be alone? right? And I'm telling you, and I'm a firm believer, I've experienced this in my life. If you truly, truly want to grow in the Lord, if you are truly, truly tired of your life being in the same spot, you ask God to remove people. You ask God to remove things. You ask God to take you higher, and you watch. He will turn your world upside down, and then he'll watch you. He'll watch you. Now remember, he's not watching you to make you look crazy, because he'll only give you what you can bear. But he'll watch you, and he'll see how you perform under pressure. We say we trust him, but yet and still we'll go before him. We say we trust him and we'll ask him to do things, but then we'll sit back and maneuver and concoct things in our own mind. No. So I challenge everybody to evaluate where you are in your life. Are you surrounded by so much noise and so many different things that you can't even get a clear thought in your mind to even see, can I handle what the Lord has given me? Can the Lord even bless you what you asking him for? Sometimes we asking him for so many different things that we're not even in a position to get it. How can he talk to you if you're putting a man before him? How can he talk to you if your woman or your money is before him? How can he talk to you if you got all these other distractions around you? So, and if you think you got it together, still ask him, because he will reveal. So I thank you for tuning into my channel. And if you like what I'm saying, let me know. Ask me some questions. I want to dialogue and go back and forth with you guys. And the more that I explore this journey in this life trial that I am on, I am going to be sharing with y'all what I'm experiencing and what I'm going through. So now that y'all know, I'm in a fire, I'm in a fight, I'm in war right now. Like, I'm literally in a war, and the Lord is only allowing me to deal with him and him only. He shut down every gate, he shut down every avenue. So this is a way for him to use me on his platform. So I'm only being obedient in this moment. But I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Look at God. Y'all, look at God. Look what he do. He just comes through.